thank you all for coming. As the church has kind of come up with this idea, our church was actually hit with a scam just about a month to 2 months ago. There was a text message that got sent out to most of our members that said, it said it came from me, but it was a number from somewhere in Virginia. And if you Google that number, it takes you to a site that basically tells you exactly all of the scams that number was trying to hit. And it was specifically targeting church members. And a friend of ours, family member of my wife's family, their church in Charleston seems to get hit with that scam, that same exact scam every couple months. It's always a number from Virginia that is reaching out to church members saying that we need, the pastor is at a hospital visit or in a meeting, he can't take a phone call, and if you can send a gift card to this number or whatever it was. And so that was really the original idea behind hosting this scam training. And so we want to thank y'all for coming. Scams can come in various different shapes and sizes, and we have a panel of experts this afternoon to talk about that. First Bank from Dillon is doing a majority of the discussion, but we also have the police chief from the city of Dillon, Monroe, that is here as well, and we also have our Dillon County Sheriff, Sheriff Jamie, here as well. And so we want to thank y'all for coming and being here. Just a couple of housekeeping items. Again, there are snacks in the back, so if you want to get up at any point in time during this training, you're welcome to do so. Cookies, fruit, nuts, other things, water, sweet tea, coffee in the back corner. And if you need to use the restroom facilities at any point in time, we're in the process of adding bathrooms to this building, which has been a dream of the church for a while. But until those facilities are completed, we're asking that anyone who needs to use the restroom, you can exit through this door, and there's a ramp that goes into the church. That door is unlocked, and as soon as you walk up that ramp, you'll see a men's room kind of in front of you to the right, and then if you turn right down the hall, the women's restroom will be that second door that'll be on the left, and there's also an accessible restroom that as you walk in that door, it is off to the left, make a right, and then you'll see a restroom door right there. That is an accessible restroom. And so, once again, thank you all for coming, and I'm going to open us up in prayer, and then I'm going to hand it over to our panel of experts here this afternoon. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, as we come before you this afternoon, we do thank you and praise you for, Lord, the opportunity to come together, to have some fellowship, and to learn about scams and fraud. And Lord, we just ask that you would open up our hearts, and Lord, we just ask that you would give us attentive hearts, attentive minds to this time that we have together this afternoon. And Lord, that you would guide us and lead us throughout this time. And we pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Don, I'm going to hand it back to you.
I just wanted to introduce you to my partners. Amy Cribb from Dillon on First Bank. She lives in Latta. And Becky Alford is in Dillon, and she really lives in Latta. So, and then y'all know Monroe and Jamie. Unfortunately, he called us experts, and I wish I did not know anything about fraud. It's the one thing I wish I didn't know anything about it. And in banking, there was a time that I knew nothing, fraud didn't exist in banking. But now there's not one day that goes by that, who is this going to make me do anything? Unfortunately, you're putting me out of my comfort zone.
That's where we grew up.
Yes, thanks. I appreciate it. But there's usually not one day that goes by that we don't see fraud of some sort. And generally, we see it more than one time a day. And in my probably last 10 years, I've had David Lane and Monroe Herring on speed dial, and Jamie is back up when it was somebody outside of the town limits, city limits of Dillon. So that's how I've gotten to be good friends with all of our law enforcement officers. But just let us get started. So Louise called and asked, and Matt, and I thought, well, we really, it's going to be real informal, and we're kind of winging it today. Where we are on the TV screen, even if you don't bank with First Citizens, First Bank or First Citizens, even if you don't, 38 years is a long time. If you don't bank with First Bank, you can go to www.localfirstbank.com, and it's nothing to do with the login. It's simply the website, and I'm going to back out one time, Amy, so they can see. So localfirstbank.com takes you right here, and from there you can come down and go, I think it's almost at the top. No, go back one more time. Go to fraud. Okay. So it comes up fraud prevention, you click on it, and there's so many articles that you can go through on that website at home, localfirstbank.com, fraud prevention, and anything you missed today you can pick up. We can't cover but a fraction of what is on there. So I thought to get started, we could do kind of an overview and then come down. Amy's got a handout. She's going to go over kind of a checklist that you can keep in the event you have questions. Becky's got some fraud tips, and then Monroe and Jamie, I thought they could put their angle on it. And then I want to have a time for questions and answers, and if you want some examples of fraud without names, we can certainly tell you. Half the time I don't remember the names anyway, but there's nothing in fraud from AI, run the whole gamut, I have not seen in Dillon. It's all happened, from crypto to AI, it's all happened, to simple fraud, elder abuse, we've seen it all. So just to get started, fraud prevention, it is a deliberate act of deception. Somebody wants to get not just your money, but your credentials. And they have lots of ways to do it. They may not be in the United States. They could be in a third world country. In fact, Monroe, Jamie, I would say a lot would be Central America, Nigeria, Libya. Anyway, so. Anyway, why are y'all interested in fraud? Have you been affected?
Yes.
Have you
53 and 55 times a day I met, and I'm an old woman, blind and deaf. And she gave her Social Security number out, and it took a whole month to just.
You're not the only one.
And it cost her me $360 and her a month's work to try and save me. And of course she fussed and she fussed and my other daughter fussed and fussed too. I knew better, but they were so convincing. I gave my Social Security number.
Well, don't ever give any information out. The bank or any company that needs to talk to you, if they ask for that information and they're calling you, they've got it. Don't give it to them. Do not give out any information. But normally, generally speaking, either you've been affected, you know someone, or a family member, someone's been affected by fraud. Emotion-driven, when they call, to Matt's point, the scam that happened, I'm in need, there's something emotional about it. It's a family member, something to tap into your emotions. So that's a red flag. Urgency, if we need to do it today, if you don't do it today, something bad's gonna happen, we're gonna report you to the credit bureau, we're gonna call the police, they're gonna come pick you up. Urgency, if it's too good to be true, I mean, if it's a pie in the sky thing, it's not real. You're not gonna win the lottery when you've never signed up for the lottery. You're not gonna win a pink Cadillac if you've never signed up for a pink Cadillac. So, too good to be true. Examples, emotion-driven, just told you about that. Urgency, and those are just too good to be true. And it can be just, we're going to get into more detail on the various kinds. So, identifying warning signs. I can't read this. Mark got a call from a collection agency claiming he owed $2,000 on a pay any day loan. Mark was told he was in legal trouble and must pay $800 by his debit card over the phone that day, or the money would be taken out of his paycheck, or they would call the police. The agency knew Mark's address and social security number, so he went ahead and gave them his debit card. There's nobody in the room here today that's not compromised. Let me just tell you that. We all are compromised by the IRS, the state of South Carolina, Costco, Target, an annuity company, medical office. How many letters have y'all gotten? You're compromised. That's all I can tell you. You are compromised. So we're going to talk about the things you can do to protect yourself. So we're all compromised. So what are the warning signs in this story about Mark? He's gotten a phone call. They need the $800 today, or they're going to call the police. Threats to withdraw wages, that's a warning sign. No legitimate business is going to do that. Demanding payment by debit card over the phone, that's not going to happen. Here's a clear requiring payment the same day. So remember, emotions, urgency, getting paid over the day, that day. Those are all signs that there's probably a red flag. Slow down. Becky keeps saying, just slow down. Don't do it. Nothing's going to happen. Slow down. All right. Tools used in scams. Fake websites. One of the worst things is Facebook. Buy something on Facebook, Jamie Monroe.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Other places you go, buying something online. You just need to be very careful about that.
I had this ad to come up on Facebook. It was from Power the Army,
Yeah.
and they were selling ammunition. I mean, real cheap. So I ordered a bunch of it. And I gave my credit card, but my credit card company caught it, and
Yeah.
they threw it out. But it wasn't any.
Right.
But they're using Facebook a lot.
Right.
You see something real cheap.
Scammers try to get to know you. If they find out you like guns or ammunition, or they find out you're patriotic, or you have someone who's had cancer or ALS, whatever the case might be, say you've made a post on Facebook, then that's what they're going to start hitting you with. That's the emotional piece they're going to go in after. They get to know you. They want it, and you don't even realize they're getting to know you, but they are.
Well, see, my Bess has got some kind of special telephone, and we'll be talking about something, and she might be going to get it. They start calling her.
Yeah,
The
they're
phone
listening to us.
is monitoring what we're talking about.
Right. Skimming, everybody's heard about, like your pin pads for a gas pump. I cover when I'm putting in my pin number, but hey, it can be under there. Really they're just that sophisticated. The absolute, I think, best thing you can do for things like that have anything to do with your bank account is have digital banking and look at your account every single day. And there's other things like LifeLock, and Becky will talk about that. if you look at your account every day and you call the bank in the morning or sometime and say, hey, I didn't do this transaction, stopping it in the morning. So a lot of people don't like digital banking, but even if you don't do things on digital banking like bill pay or transfer money, if you don't do anything but set alerts that notifies you when something comes out or in, then you can just look at it and see what goes out of your account. The single best thing you can do as a consumer is look at your account every single day. Check scams. When you get a check in the mail and somebody doesn't owe you money, it's probably not real. And especially if it's a larger check and they're going to say, send me some back. And we see those all the time. And that's not real. Tear it up, throw it away. If you ever take one piece of mail like that, then you're going to start getting, I know one customer I had, and literally they said that the mailbox would not hold his mail every day. And he went and got a larger mailbox, and it filled up every day because it's the same people. It was like, whether it was veterans of South Carolina, veterans of the Northeast, veterans, you know, or whatever the case might be. Law enforcement's a big one. But anything in the mail, voice cloning, we've had this where grandparents get calls that their family members in jail, and so AI is already involved. It's just endless.
Don, I can see a lot on Facebook, and I get a lot of my scam calls. I guess I hang up after I had the experience and got chewed out by my girls. They say hang up. That's the best thing. You can't talk to nobody because you are lonely and you want to talk. So hang up the telephone. If it's not one of us, hang it up.
Well, better than that, get an answering machine and let it go to voicemail, and they'll leave you a message, and if you don't know that person, then you've not picked up.
Can we quit? Can y'all stop can you stop them from calling? I can't get up, I'm blind, I can't get up, I fall. So if, you know, I have to hire somebody to come get me a bath. So if I'm taking a bath, the telephone is ringing.
I don't know the answer to that. That would be,
can Jamie and Monroe handle that?
Yes, I would suggest, one thing you can do, and a lot of people don't know this, is contact your phone company, you know, and maybe put some calling restrictions that they can put on there for you.
Can Spectrum do it?
Yes.
Okay, Randy.
And just do the restrictions, ask about the restrictions.
Ask them about restrictions.
What they'll do is when they call your number, it'll say potential scam, and it'll make them tell who they are and tell them to wait before, and then they'll contact you and see if you know that person.
Yeah.
And then you can accept or decline at that point.
About how much do they charge you? Because I'm on Social Security, so I'm very fixed, a very little fixed in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on the price now.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the pricing, but I do know that that service is available at some point.
I think it would be worth it.
And
And you said an answer machine, right? Get the answer machine.
I don't have an answer machine.
You don't have the,
I don't have an answer machine. Let me ask you this too. Most of my scam calls, they're telling me, are you on Medicare A and B? Which I am. And you're entitled to something else. Are y'all familiar with
That's
very
anything with Medicare is a common scam, and I would hang up on them. I just would not talk to them. Just don't entertain it. Hang up, don't talk to them. You have children, you've got $2 that'll help you. I'm
They don't
sure.
say with me, but anyhow, I get the call. They come over and add them up here today, over just one, they don't answer, don't say anything. But you know, you think, well, it might be important, it might be the
where
sheriff.
she gets all of it? She gets 100, I don't.
You had a question.
I've read that you should never answer yes to a question.
That,
That's the AI comes in at.
You can say that is correct, but don't say yes.
Becky told me something the other day, I didn't know, don't say hello twice.
Yep.
You gotta, just don't say anything,
Give
just
them all.
hang up.
Give them all.
Just be quiet, don't talk.
Normally what they'll do, they'll ask you, can you hear me?
Right.
Yeah, that's right, they asked me, do they hear me?
Yeah.
You hear
So
me?
to your point, don't say, that, just
If you don't recognize the number, don't even say hello, just sit there. Because it waits for you to say hello twice, and then it can,
Well, y'all know my Aunt BJ, and she uses the answering machine. She does not answer any call she doesn't know. And if it goes to voicemail and she doesn't know it, she just deletes it. So I think that's a good habit. So how to stop a scam. These actions can help you stop a scam so that you can protect the money, your money, and personal information. So stop, hang up the phone, block the email or number, slow down. Just slow down and don't react, because if it's emotional or they're saying you need to hurry, just slow down. That's not the case. It's going to be okay. Verify. Official websites, official phone numbers, that's not that easy sometimes, but the bank is never going to call you and ask you your information. We have it. If we call you, we know who we're calling. If you call us, now we're going to verify you, if we even do what you ask us to over the phone. But if we call you, we don't need to verify you. We may ask, but we know those things. We're not going to ask your social security number.
I've been getting something for First Bank, and it's really good about every 2 weeks. It says, don't give your passcode out. They give me my passcode, but they don't give it out to anybody.
We got a marketing campaign going on. We broke the sign, bringing it in today, but there's a lot of fraud information that's going on right now. You're getting emails, it's on your digital banking, and there's a whole section on localfirstbank.com about fraud. It's really good. So a person claiming to be a sweepstakes company says that you've won $50,000, but you know what? In order to get your $50,000, you got to pay $2,500. Scam. You haven't. It's just a scam. Don't do it. Let's see. What should Linda have done when asked to pay the upfront fees to get her $50,000? Pay the fees right away so she wouldn't lose her prize? No. Recognize that real sweepstakes never require upfront fees. I don't know, do we even have sweepstakes anymore? Real ones, all there is fraud. I don't know, I think it's mostly fraud. Verify the sweepstakes with official sources before acting. If you know who to call, good luck. Understand that pressure to act now is a warning sign. Anything that's saying act now or this is going to happen. Block a scam. Here's another scenario. Evelyn answered the phone. Grandma, it's Jake, your grandson. Continued, I'm in trouble. I've been in a car accident. I need $5,000 for now. Just then, a man claiming to be a lawyer jumped on the call and said the accident was Jake's fault and he doesn't want his parents to know. Sent money immediately. Evelyn sent the money, but learned days later that Jake had never been in a car accident. What are some of the actions that Evelyn should have taken in this situation? Hang up on Jake and call somebody in the family. See if that was really, call Jake on your number that you know. Send the money quickly to avoid Jake being put in jail. No. Report the call to the financial institution and the local police. And I'll step out and say this now. If you get involved in, you get a call you're not sure about, call the bank. Because we've seen it all, and there's usually somebody there that can guide you. I can't think of any scam we haven't seen, so just call us. We'll help you. Slow down and pause before acting. Back to Becky's point, go slow. Elderly, we see so much elder abuse, whether it's just plain abuse or financial elder abuse. So check in regularly with those individuals and see how things are going. Get support. Create a trusted contact, a list of relatives or friends. Protect your finances. I think the easiest way to protect your finances again would be look at your bank account. How many people have digital banking? You
She
need it.
doesn't.
You need it. You need it. You need it. I don't care if you do anything on it. You don't do anything but look at it. Look at your account every day and look at the history. I mean, I have a routine every morning, and that's about the third or fourth thing I do is plug into my accounts, especially transaction accounts like checking accounts, and see what came in the night before, because that's when you catch fraud, is that morning. Set up alerts on your digital banking. So I can tell where George is eating from Zaxby's, KFC, Wendy's, every day I can see where he goes.
So he can't come home and say he's hungry?
No. He's eating junk food every day. Opt out, and I actually clicked on this the other day, the opt out pre-screen. There's, if you go on to localfirstbank.com and go through this like we are, you can go there and opt out of pre-screen offers. I did it, it was easy. Interview and verify any medical or nursing aides that visit your home. Unfortunately, we see a lot of healthcare workers that support elderly people. Sometimes they get into the checkbooks and or debit cards. We see, y'all see.
Absolutely.
So if you're in a situation like that, do your due diligence around that. Explore POA, consider a power of attorney, which allows a trusted individual to act as your legal representative. If that's where you are, that's something you might want to think about. You know, the POA is only good while you're living. Don't get that mixed up with personal representative. That's only good while you're living. But they can, on your behalf, if something happens, help you. Reacting to a scam. Let's see. Don't send any money. Gift cards. We mentioned gift cards. I cannot tell you how many times that I see $2,000. That seems to be the limit. Is that something?
And they normally do it in $500 increments.
Okay. So CVS, Walgreens,
Green Dot.
Green Dot, Walmart, they take a picture of the back of the gift cards. They don't even have to send the gift cards as payment.
Just get the numbers, that's that number.
And we'll see people and we know it's a scam and we'll say, it's a scam. Please don't do this. They're taking your money. Don't do this again. I had one lady tell me that it was her medicine. I said, your medicine is like $4,000 a month. And she had a good job, so I knew she had good insurance. Yes. And I was like, I knew it wasn't. It was a round, even number. It was gift cards. And just don't, if they say anything about gift cards, it's a scam. Again, contact the bank, your bank, every bank. It's not the bank's fault. If you get fraud on your card, it's not First Bank, First Citizens, Wells Fargo. It's not their fault. It's just there's so many compromises and criminals. So call your bank immediately. Document, save emails, text messages. That would help Monroe and Jamie if you get it. I am to the point with fraud that I truly don't know how much they can do to help you because it's so bad. They can listen, I'll let them tell you, but just don't do it. You can keep that stuff, but when the rubber meets the road, I don't know how good it's going to do you. Report it. Those are some more links like I told you about earlier that you can go in if you'll go on the site. And last here, freeze your credit. If you don't have your credit frozen, you need to. And you're going to have a handout from Becky that's going to show you how to do that. And it's easy to thaw it for a day or two, but that's real important. Let's check in. Let's see. have you personally encountered or been targeted by any of these scams? Government, Social Security is a big one, and generally around sign-up time for the supplemental and your Medicare, that's when they start a lot. Online shopping, we've talked about that, debt relief, tech support, IT. Can't tell you how many times people have been on their computer and something pops up, you need help, they click on it, they take over their whole computer. Check scams, when you get a check in the mail, tear it up, AI voice. I mean, those are all examples. Alerts, try to always set up alerts on your digital banking. Always use two-factor authentication. I'm guilty here around password hygiene. I've got the same password, and I bet if a few of y'all got together, you could probably figure it out. That know me. I'm looking at Donna, Louise, and Jim. I bet y'all could probably come up with my password. Monitoring. There are monitoring, there's the bank. The bank does monitor some. They'll start, how many of you have had messages from a bank that said, is this your transaction? Okay, so we do some of that, every bank does, and banks have gotten pretty good at it, but they're not perfect, and they're gonna get through sometimes. So key points, fraud is common, recognize the warning signs, and stop scams before they start. I would rather be overly cautious than not cautious enough. So, anything I've said today, does it ring anything you didn't know? I want to have some time on the end where you ask questions and we talk about scams we've seen. But Amy and Becky have some good handouts, I think, that y'all have that you can use going forward. I think we're getting to the end, so I'm going to turn it over to Amy.
So I appreciate, I'm very thankful that you guys, everyone has came out. Just to piggyback off of what Ms. Donna said, I've been in banking since 2003. And when I started my banking career, this was not even, you didn't go to a class for fraud, you didn't go to any kind of meetings where they taught you about fraud. This wasn't a thing until, a few years ago. So it is very important, like Ms. Donna said, to just always, the biggest takeaway that we can give you guys today is just slow down. Anything that seems urgent, you've got to do it right now. Just stop and pause. I gave everyone a handout, and we're just going to kind of mimic. We'll be before you for a few minutes, and we're just going to kind of go these scenarios together. Can you spot the scam? Did everyone get a handout? We'll just kind of look over these together. Can you spot the scam? We have 3 scenarios here. It pays to stop, think, keep your information secure. Scenario 1. Does the fraud wolf have your number? Your phone rings and the caller claims to be a First Bank customer support. He warns that there may be fraud on your account, and he's going to ask you for a one-time passcode to confirm your identity. As Ms. Donna said, the bank will never call you and ask you for your information. If somebody calls and says, this is Amy from First Bank, I need to verify your account, something's going on, what's your social security number? That's automatically a red flag for you. You hang up the phone. Call your bank. If you call us at First Bank, you're going to get somebody in our branch. We're not going to send you to a call center. You're going to speak with myself, Ms. Donna, Ms. Becky, or someone in the branch. Hang it up, call us, okay? Never share important data with an unknown caller. Scammers may use your information or passcodes to access your bank account, that's a typo, local out is lock you out, or add your card to their digital wallet. Scammers may use your information or passcode to access your bank accounts, lock you out, or add your card to their digital wallet. We have seen scenarios where customers will fall for a scam and the scammer will be on the other end of the computer and completely take access of their online banking. It could be something that you click on, it could be an email that you clicked on. There are ways, and it seems unreal to even be saying that, but there are ways for these scammers to completely take over your online banking. Okay, so it's very important, if you feel like you have done that, call us immediately. Scenario 2, this is for businesses. Is your business safe from fraud? A vendor you often work with reaches out from an unfamiliar phone number. They mention that they need for you to update your payment information in their system to process the invoice for your last order. So if you don't recognize the number, hang up. When in doubt, don't risk it. Call the vendor directly, whoever that vendor may be if you're in a business. You call them back and say, hey, I just got this phone call, this is the number. Chances are they're going to tell you that wasn't us, so you did good for not, not giving me the information. Take an extra moment to stop a potential scam is worth it. And your First Bank team is always here to help, right? Scenario 3, a faster way to pay, or is it a fraudulent one? While browsing online for new clothes, you find a store with products that you love. The catch is they only accept payment through a cryptocurrency app. That's going to be a scam. Trust your instincts. Scammers love crypto and instant payment apps because it's more difficult for you to be able to get your money back. Remember our debit cards and credit cards, and I would think all banks would have the same protection, but they offer built-in fraud protection while shopping online. Okay? So like I said, the biggest takeaway is it urgent? Are they demanding money right now? And then this is just a checklist that we wanted you guys to have. Take it and keep it in your, everybody has a junk drawer at home, right? Take it, keep it in your junk drawer. If you get anything, you can just stop and ask yourself, is this call or email unexpected? Is it from an unfamiliar number, person, email, or company? Are they claiming you owe them money or you're being fined? Are you being asked for your PIN, password, credit card number, other sensitive information? Are you being pressured to act quickly or threatened? If you are threatened, that is 100%, it's a scam. Are you offered a prize? That seems almost too good to be true. Do they tell you not to contact your bank, your family members, or anyone else? Does the message have misspelled words or strange-looking links? Have you only met this person and now they need money to help a family member or friend with an emergency? Has someone reached out to you on, Facebook or somewhere like that, and they're trying to build a relationship with you? Are they asking you to send payment through money in the form of gift cards or cryptocurrency? If this is an unexpected invoice, IT request, wire, or payroll change, and this will be especially for business owners, if you answer yes to any of these above, it may be a scam and probably is a scam. Reach out to your bank before you continue the conversation or provide any information. So just keep this handout, and if you answer yes to any of them, just stop and hang them up. Thank y'all for your time. Ms. Becky?
I think we've kind of talked about everything that I've got here. The one thing I want you to remember is, in banking, we have something called money in motion. Now, for bankers, that can be, my customer just transferred $200,000 to another bank. That's money in motion. But for you, money in motion refers to funds being actively transferred. Wires, ACH payments, mobile deposits, or payment apps, Zelle, Cash App, Venmo. That is when your money is the most vulnerable, is when it's in motion. Because anytime you just listen to that one little, they know right where to get you. They do it all day long. They're getting a payoff. They're getting $40,000 in cash they don't pay taxes on. And they wouldn't call 24/7 if it didn't work. So it's working for them, so they're going to call you. And I've got these two. But I want you to remember money in motion. And on the first part of it, you see slow down. That's one of my big things. Slow down. If somebody's calling you and it's out of the blue, they're gonna catch you at a very vulnerable moment. That could be when your bathtub. You know, and how easy that would be if you're in your bathtub and you get a phone call and somebody says, so-and-so's in jail, we need to get him out, and he needs you to send us money now. That's a vulnerable moment. And that's what they look for. They may call you back 10 minutes later saying there's somebody else. They're looking for vulnerability. If money is in motion, if somebody is saying, I need you to move your money, stop. That's money in motion, and that's when you're at your most vulnerable moment. That's when money is in motion. Talk to someone you trust. Now, you probably, I work with a lot of elderly people and young people, but talk to someone you trust. Well, your kids, when you have your kids, they're probably saying, Mama, why'd you do that? And they start treating you like a child, But you've got to find somebody you trust. If that person is someone at the bank, because let me tell you, it is not dumb people who get scammed. Very smart people get scammed. So don't feel stupid, like I can't believe I did this, Let somebody know. It can be your friend, it can be your banker, it can be either one of them, somebody that you trust to say, gosh, should I do this? Have you ever had this phone call? Social Security contacts, oh gosh, this is another one. We have so many people that tell us that the Social Security Department just called them and they're going to cancel their Social Security number. They won't get their Social Security check if they don't give it to them. Now, do you know how hard it is to get Social Security on the phone? Okay. They will never call you. Social Security sends you a letter, and then they will have they'll give you an appointment. Say, call me and let's do an appointment by phone. IRS is the same way. IRS sends a letter first. IRS will not call you. They'll send a letter and make an appointment. So that's very important too. And don't trust caller ID alone, because I have someone that is spoofing my phone right now, which is using my phone number to call somebody else with. So my son had somebody calling him from Horry County Jail, and it was on his caller ID. It was Horry County Jail, and he said that he was in trouble, and I hate to say it was something of a sexual content. That's how they scared him, that you've been talking to somebody under 18, and he was like, that's scary. And I told him, I said, son, this isn't real, just forget it, it's not real. Mama, it's from Horry County Jail. He said, I can't think of anybody. He said, but they got me, and the daddy's up there, this is my son. I said, it's not real. So what we did was, I did not use that phone number to call back. I called the Horry County Police Department. I asked them what happened, They said, that's fraud. People are doing that all day long. They're stealing the Horry County's phone number and using it to call you with. So he was terrified. So let me just say this too. If you call the bank and we say that's fraud, please believe us. Please believe us.
That is so true.
I'm telling you, we're trying to save their money and they're trying to give it away. And it's awful. But please believe us when we say that is fraud.
Miss Vicki, I'll just add to that. Just recently, we had a customer come in and she wanted to get set up for online banking for a brand new account. And while our manager was helping her to get set up for online banking, the text came through, hey babe, make sure you get this set up, And so our manager immediately said, hey, you're getting scammed, She's like, no, I'm not, I know this person. But she was getting scammed, but she didn't want to believe us, so.
Well, I hate to say this, but we'll shut you down. We'll close your account, because if I can't help you, I'm not going to be a part of something bad happening. So, we'll give those to First Citizens. Anyway, I'm sorry. Treat payment apps, like you hear all your grandkids probably, or your kids talking about Cash App. I do not have Cash App. I do not have Venmo. I do have Zelle. You know, I will use Zelle with my children. I can't say it's the most safe, but it's from bank to bank. So if there's any Alta bit of okay, that's okay. But treat it like cash. If you give somebody a $100 bill, it's gone. It's not traceable. That's what a gift card is, and that's what Cash App is. You have nobody can get your hands around your throat. Never, like you said, never pay with gift cards. Gift cards, that's almost brilliant. I never even think about it because I would not ever go get I wouldn't even know how to go get a gift card probably. But if they ask for a gift card, it is fake, okay? Verify emergency request. You know, like I said, they're going to get you at a vulnerable moment. You know, your son's in the hospital. We need your insurance card. We need your social security number. He's in here. I mean, those kind of things. Verify emergencies. Pick up the phone and call your child, call your mama, call your neighbor. Is so-and-so over there? Because, you know, my kid don't answer the phone ever, so, you know, I'm going to call a neighbor and says, is he in there? Is he okay? Watch for fake emails and fake text. I get fake text all the time, and I was going to bring something today. Normally, if you get an email, if it's coming from an email address, if you get a text that's coming from an email address, we used to have them come in and it'll have it's from First Bank Company, or so, it's not First Bank, it is not. Ours come in with 5 digits, and I don't know if you've noticed lately when you get an email, a text, most of them are 5 or 6 digits to identify. Now, I'm not saying it's not fraud, I'm just saying that's what First Bank does. We send secure codes from numbers, not First Bank. It's not, we'll say First Bank when you get it, it won't, okay? Lord, if you get a text and it tells you to press a link, you need to press this link if this was not you. We will never ask you to press a link. Press a link. We will not do that. We will ask you the question, was this your transaction? Yes or no? We will never ask you to press this link. Because normally when you press that link, they're wanting you to put in your user ID and your password. It'll send you automatically to something that looks like a First Bank or a First Citizens Bank, and you'll put your user ID and your password in, and they immediately take control of your bank account. And you'll just sit there and watch the money leave out. Monitor your accounts, like Donna said, monitor. But myself, I never use a debit card. I always use a credit card. Because when you use your debit card, it comes straight out of your account. And it can take up to 30 days, where it used to take maybe 10 days to get it back. It can take up to 30 to 60 days now to get your money back. There's so much fraud. So if you don't want to be without cash, I do not use a debit card. Occasionally I use my debit card if I go to the ATM, but other than that I don't. If you use your credit card, that you can, if you find something on your credit card statement, then you can do an EFT, you can dispute it, and the money never left your pocket. It's on a statement, you dispute it, it never leaves your pocket. Always contact your bank. Always contact your bank. And if you've got your card may have a phone number on the back for customer service. If anything does not feel right, it's probably not. And it's always going to be either about your Social Security number, or it's going to be about money, or both at the same time. So anything that puts money in motion, stop. Because I don't know about y'all, I have none to give away. None. So what did I want everybody to remember? Money in motion. Stop. If somebody's wanting money or they want your information, stop. You can verify. You can say, I'll tell you what, give me your phone number and I'll call you right back. Give me your phone number and I'll have my daughter call you right back. They'll hang up and you won't hear from them again. But to your point, don't talk to them. You know, just do not speak to them. That's the best advice I can give you, but they are going to call you. So stop, don't react. Do not react to someone pressuring you to do something, because they're going to constantly do it. And just call your bank, verify, have one of your children say, so-and-so's called me, needs me. Yeah, I always have that person that you can ask a question, and there's no dumb question, none. I want you to see the back of this. I've passed this out. These are phone numbers. And some people say it's a waste of time, but I'm going to tell you something in just a minute. This is recovering from the fraud. If you've done this, okay, there's an Internet Crime Complaint Center. All you got to do is report it, report.fraud.ftc.gov, right here. If you've had gift card scams, there's a way to report it. And let me tell you what happened one time. I had a dear friend, and her mother, educated, worked in medical field for 30 years. She retired, her husband passed away, and one day she called me to do a wire, and she came in and signed it. And I said, and that was not unusual, because she normally took her family on a big vacation, either to New York, you know, so when she wanted to send something to Alaska, I just assumed it was the family vacation. I should have asked more, but there again, you think because somebody's educated, they would know and wouldn't do something like that. But anyway, she sent $25,000. Well, a few minutes later, I got a phone call from the wire department, and they were like, hey, this was a love, they called it a love bug. Didn't they call it a love bug scam? Where they would wire money to, he'd get her to wire money to somebody else's account, and then that person would wire it to him. Once you wire money, that's cash. It's gone. So anyway, the wire department called me back and said, Becky, that's fraud. So I was so happy, because I know what happens to wire money. It's gone. You don't ever see it again unless somebody out of the kindness of their heart just gives it back to you. It's gone. And I called her and I said, oh gosh, you were so lucky. I said, you know, that was a scam, and we got your money back and all this and that. She said, that's my money. I'll do what I want to do with my money. I was like, evidently this had happened before. And I said, what do you mean? I said, you know, you just got your money back. It was a scam. She said, no, it wasn't. So I ended up shutting her account down. And it was a big customer of ours. You would not know her. I worked in a whole different part of the state. You wouldn't know her. But she ended up giving $750,000 away to a man that was stuck on a diamond boat in like San Francisco. $750,000. And this is an educated woman. You know, it can happen. If you've never had this happen, it's just win, because it will happen. You just got to stay vigilant. I mean, you just got to stay vigilant. And we are always, but what she did was, get back to this, her daughters reported it. Every phone number they called on their mama's phone, they would report it to this, one of these numbers. Because what you can do is, if you want to show your parent, or you want to show somebody that this person is a fraud, one of these bays is always going to have that name on it. Somebody reports it, so that name is reported to have been involved with fraud. So even though you may not be able to help yourself, reporting it will help somebody else. Is there any questions?
Have you ran into these big gas stations that got a lot of pumps? The parts to stick your credit card in, it looks like it's been tampered with. They can put a card reader there and read your card and get all your information. And if you use a debit card, then just clean you out right then.
Well, I know this is probably crazy, but I find myself, but I always use my credit card. I always pull on it. And I know that don't mean anything, it just makes me feel better probably. But I always pull on it. It just makes me feel better. We've had that happen before, not with First Bank. I've had it happen, you know, with an ATM.
A lot of places.
Yeah, ATMs, gas stations, I mean, it happens.
Usually it's gonna be a tank that they can't see from the store if it's got all the pumps, because it takes some time for them to install whatever they're putting on there to read your car.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it, we've found them, but I hadn't at First Bank, but I've only been here 6
Yeah.
months, so that don't mean it hadn't happened, I just hadn't found them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we have. And the hardest thing is our customers she told me, and she said some bad words, that was her money, and she'd do what she wanted to with it. And I shut her down, and I sent her to another bank, because I just was not gonna be a part of it. She spent her money somewhere else at another bank, because I'm just not gonna do that, I'm not gonna do it. And I will, turn people in for elderly abuse, I'll do it all day, I don't have a problem doing it. So you can, I can promise you that, if I feel like you're being, I'm gonna call and report you. So, yes, sir.
Most banks and most credit cards will send you a text message for every transaction if you just sign up for it.
That's right. Like you said, you can go, like I go on mine and take alerts for that, especially my credit card. I do it all the time. My debit card. It's everywhere. And it's not if, it's when. Somebody's gonna have that problem. I think.
Extra sheet.
Yes, ma'am, I do. And I'm gonna turn it over to these two fellas, they can, back up everything we tell you.
Well, good afternoon. I feel like I have been educated. Let's give them a hand. This has been an awesome job. Our First Bank, I want to thank y'all for what you're doing for the community. I can tell you that it's very encouraging that this kind of education is going out and being talked about. From a law enforcement standpoint, I mean, we might as well have all had the same paperwork to come in here and talk about. But this is very informal, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I feel like as a sheriff. I'm sure Monroe can convey the same fact. From a law enforcement standpoint, it's probably one of the most frustrating crimes that we deal with, because most of the time there's no end result. The end result, lots of times, is you're out of money and we don't have anyone to charge. Most of these crimes are people who are tied to foreign countries, Nigeria, Honduras. They are not even in the United States. I met with the FBI about 2 weeks ago, and they said, Sheriff, what is your biggest issue when it comes to crime or internet crime or anything like that? And it's not so much, believe it or not, violent crime and sexual crime. It's crimes just like this, because there's not that person, there's not that tangibility where you can grab someone and say, hey, you're responsible for this. This is hard-earned dollars that I'm sure each and every person in this room has acquired over time, or you may be on fixed income, like you said, and these people know how to take an opportunity and run with it. Now, I want you to think for just a moment, and they went over a lot, so I just want you to kind of think for just a moment. I got a 23-year-old and a 28-year-old, and their minds are totally different from mine or yours. Right? 100%. The other day I told my son, I said, go in there and get the checkbook. He said, oh, what? Right? Go get your checkbook. They don't use them. Right? They don't get caught up lots of times with crimes like this, because they know the safeguards that they can use to not be taken advantage of. So you ask yourself, well, how do I become a target? Ultimately, your age. Just being honest with you. Isolation. You're home. Lots of times you're alone, and they think that they can engage in conversation. Right? Tell you this. I asked my 28-year-old, I said, go in there and call King's Pizza and order a pizza. He says, can you do it online? Right? Think about what I'm saying there. But you and I, we want to engage. If Miss Donna comes to talk to me, I want to physically talk to her. She and I want to have eye contact and have a genuine conversation. So they're limited as to the people that they can pray to. I can assure you, my 28-year-old and 23-year-old, if somebody from DMV, they get a text from DMV and it says that if you don't, right? I got the same text this week. I don't know if y'all got it, but I did. Right? We got it. And we followed up. And in our mind, we think, oh my goodness, I still got to call the sheriff. I still got to call the chief just to make sure. But I can assure you that 23-year-old and 28-year-old don't. That's the unfortunate part. I have had very educated people call me out front of the detention center and say, Jamie, I'm out front. They don't have to come to my house. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, and these are people that you and I know in the community every day that fall prey to this. And it's unfortunate. But the way you can combat it is just like this. Taking advantage of coming in and having a genuine conversation about what you can and can't do. Now, the FBI, just so you know, from a standpoint of what they kind of see, okay, this is a crime we can kind of go after, is about $500,000 threshold. For them to say, okay, we're going to go to figure out how we can get to Honduras and track this down. So that's very eye-opening as a whole. If you think that the emphasis for them is to go track down why you sent $2,000 to somebody and you want to get that money back, it's not going to happen. They are going to give you time of day. I tell you, Becky touched on something a while ago too, that, and we battle this all the time with the solicitor. I'm sure the chief can talk about this too. But how many people believe it's unlawful to give away your money? It's not. It is not. It's very, 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 very frustrating. I have sat down, I've went into people's homes, and I've dealt with elderly people, and their daughter would be sitting there, and they're saying, you know, Mom has done this, and Mom has done that, and Mom has done this. And I would say, Mom, you know, you're a victim, and I got to get you at least to try to sign this victim impact form. By state law, we have to go present to the solicitor and say, hey, this person wants to prosecute this case in court. I'm not signing that. I'm sure he'll tell you the same thing. I'm not signing it. A lot of people, they feel like that's their money. And as we get older, you feel like, hey, that's my money, you can't tell me what to do with it. And I get it. My dad will be 83 next month, and my mom is 80. And like Miss Becky and Miss Donna said, please make sure that you're talking to your people you can trust. Your circle of friends to say, hey, I don't want my mom to feel like I'm trying to intrude or trying to figure out what they're doing with their money. But I think this is going on. Because I'm going to tell you, folks, I have seen people dwindle down to nothing as far as from a financial standpoint. And I can tell you that you can put people away in prison for 35 years for harming another person physically. But I would venture to say, if you just think for a moment, and I'm sure the chief will convey the same thing, when have you ever seen headline in the Dillon Herald, Dillon County News and Beyond, 35 years for someone who's swindled somebody $50,000? Right? So that speaks volumes, right? You should really, really, really think about what I just told you. So where's the emphasis on enforcing crime when it comes to crimes like this? It's very unfortunate, but I'm telling you, We're vulnerable as a society. It's gonna get worse. Put some safeguards in there like they've talked about, and like I could talk about and go on and on. It's always gonna be immediate. They're gonna want that money immediately. Your son, your daughter's in jail, absolutely. Who wouldn't do whatever for their son or daughter, right? So you're gonna do what you gotta do. Utility services, Duke Energy, Progress Energy, they're gonna tell you, we're gonna cut your lights off, we're gonna cut your water off. You're gonna do whatever you gotta do to keep those things on. I promise you, law enforcement is here to help you. The last thing I'll say is this, and this is a challenge, and I'm sure Monroe will talk about the same thing, but how many people in here want to go to law enforcement and say that they've been had for $14,000, right? Everybody's shaking their head. Nobody wants to have that conversation. It's embarrassing. Because we all want to think that we make sound decisions every day. I'm just being honest with you. But unfortunately, we don't. But, please don't let that get in the way of reporting something to law enforcement that should be reported. Embarrassment, we can overcome that. But I assure you that it actually bothers us every day to know that people are taking advantage of in a huge way. We're going to be here to answer questions. I know we're running a little bit over, so I'm going to get Monroe to come up, but we're going to be here. I think we're going to have like a Q&A after. Right. But last thing I'll say is, I did check the table when I kind of went to the door a while ago. Not the first donuts back there. So, y'all knew we were coming. So do better. Thank y'all for having us. Thank y'all. We're going to answer some more questions. Hello, for the ones that don't know me, my name is Monroe here. I'm the Chief of Police for Dillon. I had the pleasure of meeting Ms. Donna a while back. Some good circumstances and some bad. But I'm here today to tell you, as an investigator, former investigator, just please be mindful of who you're dealing with, because you never know. Anybody still use checkbooks? Write checks? Oh, now they've got the thing where you got your routing number and stuff on the bottom. You heard about them washing it? Okay, it's for real, like $100,000 from businesses and everywhere else. And when you look at it, it looks real. So be mindful. I know the sheriff talked about the elderly. For me, I'm passionate for my seniors and children. I've really become a different person if you got across them. But I remember a phone call one day that somebody reported to you, Sheriff. And as an investigator, I went and looked at it because it's held special meanings to me. And come to find out, through the investigation, I found a person and asked them, well, how did you get to this person? I went through the phone book. Now, I know they don't have phone books now. You can just type in anything. Well, you went to the phone book and then did what? They were calling people in the phone book, and whoever answered and talked, they would highlight it. You know, the phone book's got your address. They show up at your house. Now they carry on conversations. Okay? Been friends forever, every day. Come to find out, they were every day going asking for money. And this person was giving them money every day. I actually went to a judge and asked him, you know, what can I charge him with? I'm going to charge him with this. He said, you can't. There is no law in the state of South Carolina. You can go from door to door to door and ask for money. There's no law in asking for money. But thank God, the way I was able to get around that, the family was able to prove he had a touch of dementia. So I was able to get in on the Vulnerable Adult Act. You ever bought a car? Kind of hard to get out of a salesman, right? So when they're talking to you, they're targeting people who are vulnerable, who just wants the conversation. And they keep talking. I had one particular that went on for weeks, calling every day like clockwork. How you doing? How's your leg? And fast forward through everything,
they built a relationship to the point, I'm gonna send you my checking number and you pay off your mortgage. Well, guess what? They did. Well, I'm gonna need some money now, so just refinance your mortgage and send me some. And they did. But the thing was, it weren't his checking number they give. They took the money from somebody else's, and then they took their house or whatever, refinanced it, and then that money went back there. I mean, you see a lot of different things. And it's scary when you can't get it back. I know Miss Donna talked about a computer screen, and it broke my heart to sit there with somebody and go through it. And very computer literate, but just the screen popped up, and next thing you know, they were doing their mother's account and everything was in one, and they were wiped out. And all they had to do was go to Task Manager and end it or unplug it. But people like that, scammers, they can be anywhere in the world. There's proxy servers, they bounce them from here to here to here. But what most people don't know is that when you answer a call and you talk to one of these scammers, you get classified in a whole different area. If you don't talk to them, you get in this area. And after they get so many, they sell that list on the dark web. And I actually went to a cell phone class in Columbia, and it was talking about the geofencing and how to track this stuff, and that's what's happening. If you're engaged with these scammers, you get put in a whole different category. And they sell your name. That's why you keep getting so many calls. You wonder why certain people get so many calls? Because that's a good potential of being scammed. My advice when they come in or somebody calls you, can you hear me? I heard them fine. Hang up. Or how are you? And they want to go on, okay. Well, I want to talk to you about the Medicaid. I'm fine. Don't talk. As an investigator, a former investigator, if I want to get information out of you, how am I going to do it? I'm going to get you talking. That's the idea, get you talking. And before you know it, I'm going to talk you into telling me everything I need to know about your little girl, about your husband, and then I'm going to use it against you. Or maybe not so against you, but I'm going to turn it around, but you need to help them. Just like Miss Donna said, it's your emotions. They prey on them because you want to be heard. You want to feel like somebody's listening to you. And before you even realize you did, you give information out you shouldn't. I mean, we've got some I've been dealing with, is where they give out their Social Security number. And now they go back 2 years, 3 years later, however, and they can't even get their taxes. Somebody's already used their Social Security number at Purdue. I can't go out there. They've been fired 2 years ago. So now I have no clue where that person is or who they even were. Got a picture of them. So the information that you have, as far as personal, anything, you need to guard it, safeguard it. I know they were talking about never paying anything with a debit card. Great, credit card is perfect. Use somebody else's money, right? Don't worry about that. End of the month, you use your debit card or however, then pay it off. I trust a credit card company more than I do some of these other people. And you're talking about the scammers you see on the pumps and the ATMs, and Walmart just had a slew of them. What about the ones where you hand your card in through the window? They're not even taking pictures no more. My cell phone's on record. I take the card out, flip it over, there you go. Now guess what? I'm going online and I'm buying everything that I want to buy. And I'm not sending it to my house, I'm sending it to this abandoned house down the road. And now I'm tracking it. Okay? When I see it's about to be there in an hour, I'm going to go meet the truck. Now nobody knows who I am. I've got all this stuff for free, and it happens every day. I'm going to go online and order my food and use your card to pay for it. And it just happened that fast. My phones, and that's something I just had. It hadn't been too long ago. But still, we got to be more mindful. Use our card in safe places. I mean, you feel when you go pay at a restaurant, it's safe, right? Like Miss Donna said, check your card. Check your bank account every morning, because you never know. Glad to meet every one of you. Hope you stick around. I'll be glad to answer anything I can after this is over.
What questions do y'all have? I think we've got a lot of experience in situations.
Jimmy, I turned 65 in July. Jimmy, know what you were saying about the Medicare change?
I don't know anything about Medicare yet. I'm just saying generally around sign-up time, that's when you see Medicare scams. It's just timing. That's around tax time, filing time, that's when you see tax loan scams. So it's just seasonal, you know, as to what scams are going on for various times of the year. Natural disasters, Helene, or hurricanes, or that's, if something's going on with that, you'll, again, comes back to emotional, you know, that's when those type scams will go on. But somebody mentioned crypto. Anybody who wants payment in crypto, that is a scam. That is a scam. And actually, I know a former bank employee that got a call one day that they knew she was, and this was a fine person, was involved in child pornography. And it scared her so bad, she drove all around Florence and Dillon, and in one day she put $25,000 in crypto ATMs. And it happened in Florence and Dillon. She just was driving around doing it. And at some point in the day, she stopped and called the bank and said, do y'all know any, you know, and she says, I think something's wrong. And of course, fear, emotion, scared, and she just reacted. And she was it's not dumb people. This was a smart lady. Anyway.
I think, which one y'all mentioned, but I think on front page of Dillon Herald, it should be watch out for scams. They're out there. And a lot of stuff that y'all have told us maybe should be other. You know, really everybody this place should be filled up.
Yes, ma'am.
It should be filled up. Because I hear so many people complaining about scams. And it's real. And I don't think it's going to get no better.
No.
And I was hoping that y'all would give me a telephone number that I could go home and all my scam problem would be gone. So I'm a little disappointed. I know Donald's got on a black outfit. I can't see any of your faces.
Donald's navy.
And I can't see my friend Jamie nor Mr. I can't think of Monroe Harry. I can't see them, but I know they're there for us, and I know I can pick up I will pick up the telephone. I have Jamie's number in my telephone. He knows I'll call him.
She will too.
I will call him.
Yeah.
And sometimes he might think it's the worst thing. In fact, yesterday I asked Debbie, I said, Debbie, will you carry this scam meeting? Mom, I can't go. I got a hair appointment. More than this? So I asked Winnie. Winnie says, Mama, I can't carry you either. I says, I'll call Jamie or Monroe. And they were trying to call for me. And they said, you'll do that to him? I says, I will do that to him. And so I was going to get away to get here because I am tired of spam. And like Jamie said, we have children coming along, grandchildren coming along, and it's going to be worse. The world is getting worse. Gas is going real high. And I am 91 years old, and I tell my children, don't worry about me much. I'm ready to go home. But listen, I want all y'all to be ready home. And Donald said today, first thing do in the morning, when you get up, is check your bank statement. Well, I want to say the next thing you do, and I do my devotion morning. Pray to the Lord for this country. Pray, and keep up with your money. They ain't gonna give us nothing. And I just really do pray for our country and our leaders that they be Christian. We have gotten away from God. We need to all get back to God and get on our knees.
Wanda had a question.
I know what I was going to say, I love you, they call all the time. I have an old-fashioned landline with an old-fashioned answering machine. Don't have any caller ID. My husband retired from the phone company, he won't and that's fine. So mostly I don't answer, but he'll answer sometimes, and you make a statement, don't say hello, and then don't say hello twice. What does that mean to say it twice? To say hello
Then they can
twice?
start talking.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's some kind of weird thing going on there.
Is it like
If you just-
robocalling?
Yeah.
And if you just sit there, if it's a number you don't know, if you just sit there, it'll hang up in a little bit.
I got some question, I just said, John 3:16.
Let me write that one down.
Donna, did you mention A1, is it got into banking and the sheriff's records and stuff yet?
I'm sorry, say
A1.
AI.
AI. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm scared of what they might generate.
Yes,
It's
we've
getting-
had, calls where, you know, AI could take over someone's voice and sound just like Betsy, you know, and it's not Betsy.
Yeah.
Calling you and saying, you know, I need some gas money or whatever, I need $1 million.
Sheriff, don't you still have the senior,
Yes.
call?
Yep, absolutely.
So-
Yes.
Many people might not know that, they get on the list and, from the sheriff's office and you call to check on, see
Yeah.
how they're doing.
Yeah. At the sheriff's office, we have an Are You OK program. Mr. Moses Hayward directs that, and he calls every week just to see how everybody is doing, and you can sign up for no charge for it, really no age requirement. If you guys want to call the sheriff's office, it's 843-774-1432, or y'all can look it up. But he does a great job. He and Sheriff Rice, they call each week and just see how everybody's doing, making sure you got your medical appointments taken care of and stuff like that. So please take advantage of that. It's a great
We,
thing.
we refer a lot of our victims of abuse then to that line. And a lot of people don't understand is that when we get a victim of abuse, financial is always one of the things that they talk about. With, it's not only just emotional, it's not just physical, but I feel like I've been a victim of financial abuse. How do I handle that? So your handouts will work very well with those that we get those calls. And then we do refer them to sheriff's Are You OK line as well, which gives them a peace of mind.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, statistically speaking, as you said, the older population are the most targeted for financial fraud.
Yep.
So I can't tell you how many times we've had people call us and say, I'm 65 years old, I met this guy online, and now he wants me to buy him a car. Or I bought him a car. Or he wants to come move in with me. You know, different things like that. So that type of thing is happening. So in relationship with abuse, it really is. And a lot of people don't think financial fraud is abuse, but it is abuse. And it is harder to get over that than it is to work with the other part.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions?
I just want to thank the sheriff's department, the police department, back all here, but the police department and sheriff's department for not only working with fraud, but if I was a young mother today, I'd be so scared to death having children raised with the drug problem we have in the world. It's a terrible thing. We're scared to death. The old people, we've saved a little bit of dollars all our lives, sacrificed, we have a little bit of money, we got to hold to it. In case you had to go to the nursing home like I had to do the other years, that's $8,000 or $10,000 a month. So you try to hold your money, and then you got these scammers out there, and then you got the drug dealers out there. So where are you young people? Y'all got y'all's hands full.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all, we have some goodies up here, if anybody, we brought them, so y'all need to get them, so you don't have to take them back.
Yeah, let's give our panel a round of applause, please. Before y'all leave, just a few things. We have plenty of refreshments, so grab a handful before you leave. We don't want to keep them here and feed all the church people. So please take a handful on your way out. There's plenty of coffee, plenty of refreshments in the back. Our panel said that they would stick around after we are done. to answer any individual questions, so please take advantage of that, and take advantage of some of the First Bank swag. That's the stuff we all get. So please come up and grab some of that. We also have some thank you cards on behalf of the church to our panel that we will distribute here in a second. But I want to thank y'all for coming out, and please take advantage of this expert panel that we have with us this afternoon for any individual questions that you might have. Let's give them one more round of applause.